Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nurlaina Tramawati, which is number 23020400033, and I would like to answer some question. And number one is, what is moral relativism and how does it affect your life personally? Moral relativism means that what is right or wrong depends on culture, society, or personal view, not a universal rules. For me, it's helped me be more open-minded and respectful of other belief. I now try to understand someone background before judging them, especially in multicultural world. I know my right might not be the same for other, but sometimes I still wonder if there are any absolute right or wrong. For example, something considered polite in one country might be rude in another. Like in Japan, silence is respectful, but in Western culture, it may be seen as awkward. This shows how morality can change based on where and how we live. Moral relativism reminds me not to judge too fast and to ask why do they believe that. And the next question is, one truth in one religion might not become truth in another religion. Explain this phenomenon. Religious truth comes from faith, holy books, and tradition. For example, is Jesus is a prophet in Islam, but the Son of God in Christianity. This difference comes from each religion belief and history. That's why religious truths are personal and can force onto other. Instead of proving who right, we should respect and understand each other's fight. It's also important to remember that religious shape identity. So when someone believes something different, it does mean they are wrong. It means they come from a different fight. Like river going to some the ocean, every religion teach value like kindness and peace, even if the story and practice differ. And the question number three is, slavery was allowed in the past and now is forbidden by most countries. Why? Uh, in the past, slavery was common because society needed cheap labor, but over time, human rights become more important, especially after 1948. Movement, education, and media helped people see slavery as wrong. As people began to see everyone as equal, law changed. Now, slavery is illegal, but it still secretly is in some places. For example, is child labor, human trafficking, and frauds were still happening in hidden part of the world. Even though slavery look different today, its core taking away someone's freedom is the same. This shows that law alone are not enough. We need education, awareness, and action. And the next question is, Bali style architecture is common in Bali, but Betawi style is rare in Jakarta. Why? I think Bali keeps its culture strong through tourism and support from the government. Bali style is part of their daily and pride. Jakarta is a big modern city with many culture, so Betawi style is harder to keep. Urbanization and modern needs push away traditional design. Meanwhile, Bali mixes tradition with business, keeping its culture alive. Also, balance people often wear traditional clothes to ritual and decorate building in a cultural way. This attract tourists and protect their identity. Meanwhile, in Jakarta, the fast pace of life and development make traditional style less practical. Culture needs space and time to grow, and Bali protect both. And question number five is, Saudi Arabia is opening cinema and inviting international artists. What kind of change is this? I think this is a culture change under Saudi Arabia Vision 2030 plan. The goal is to move away from oil and modernize the country. It's help bring tourists and new jobs for young people. The Crown Prince led this change, balancing tradition and modern life, but some conservative groups still resist the change. Opening cinema is a big deal there because for years such entertainment was banned. Now, concert and event are becoming normal. It is not just about fun, it is about opening mind and creating a new future. However, the challenge is how to grow while still being religious and culture tradition. And the question number six is, if a democratic country fought to end democracy is still democracy? I think this is a democracy dilemma. If the majority fought to end freedom of fairness is this destroy democracy itself. This called tyranny of the majority. Real democracy must protect right and rules, not just follow the majority. Without those protection, democracy can become a tool for dictatorship. History shows this can happen in some country. Leaders were elected fairly but later removed right and silent opposition. That's why democracy isn't just voting, it is about fairness, law, freedom of speech, and balance of power. When those disappear, democracy turns into something else, even if people fought for it. And the last question is, why is divorce increasing and marriage decreasing in Indonesia? I think today many young people focus more on career and freedom than early marriage. Divorce is more common because people want healthy and happy relationship. Education, urban life, and social media raise expectation. Money problem and bad communication also cause stress. Most divorce are filed by women, often due to abuse or financial neglect, showing both challenge and strength in modern society. And also, people today talk more about mental health and boundaries. So when a marriage become toxic, they dare to live rather than stay just for tradition. The rise of independent women, gender equality, and digital influences all play a role. Society is changing, and with that, the way people see love and marriage is changing too. I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.